Hello, everybody. Welcome to another day of Hello 2025. And we have here Melissa Wolf, and I'm super excited to have her on this floor. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Carla.
Super exciting, yes. So let's
Mhm.
go. Let's go and start with the first question. I know that you wanted to introduce yourself. So,
Yeah,
Melissa, who are you? What do you do?
great question. And I love the way that you say my name, Melissa. I love it. Just,
Yeah, oh, yes, because
yeah,
I have that accent, right?
I love it.
Awesome.
Thank you. So, I am first and foremost a feminine, free, divine woman.
Yay.
And I am super, super passionate about supporting everyone with tapping into their divine space. You know, the
Mhm.
masculine and feminine energies, balancing those energies, and really being courageous and stepping into that space. Career wise, I am a school psychologist.
Mm,
So I support kids ages preschool all the way to 21, and I really support them with being successful in school. I assess for different types of disabilities that may be impacting their educational performance. And I worked in the schools for about 9 years, and now I have my own business
mm,
and I contract my services out. And I felt like choosing to do that would give me opportunity to support more kids.
mm,
And at first, I was really nervous to do that because I wasn't sure if that vision that I had would come to fruition.
mhm,
But it has. And I'm so grateful that I took that leap. And now I've been able to support kids in 3 different states.
mm.
And yes, it was kind of a lot of work up front to get licensed and certified in those states. But now, having done that, I've been able to support more and more kids. And it's been really fulfilling and rewarding practicing school psychology in this way. So that's what I do career wise. I've also coached a lot of people as well in that high performance goal setting space. I've worked with businesses and supporting them with business goals and helping them stay on track with those performance goals. And really, it's just all the things I have learned through my psychology work
Mhm.
that I've been able to provide coaching services to support people with their goals and staying on track and maybe getting underneath some limiting beliefs that could be holding them back
Mhm.
and diving a little bit deeper. And yeah, so that's where I'm at right now, and I'm enjoying life.
Awesome. I mean, and I have questions. Can
Mhm.
I ask them? Yeah.
Of course, I'm ready. I've
I
got my
and
coffee
this
and
is
ready.
very interesting because yes. So I am a mom,
Mhm.
and you were talking about your career and what you do in schools. How is it different to do it outside of a school?
So, changing environments
Mhm.
can make all of the difference. And what I found is that when I changed my environment from working in the school to
Mhm.
being more of that contract consultative support, yes, I'm still conducting evaluations. I'm still working on systems level change within the school. I'm working with teachers and parents. But having it changing the environment has really supported me as a practitioner
Mm.
because I feel like when I create space and flexibility in my own choices, that energy kind of infiltrates
Mm.
the people that I work with. So not only am I a better practitioner, my reports are very comprehensive. I don't feel rushed. Nothing feels forced There's
Mm-hmm.
this beautiful freedom and flexibility within a structure.
Of course.
And I feel like the kids and the parents and the teams that I work with in the school all benefit from that as well. Um, they feel that freedom, that flexibility. It really is a teamwork approach.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've noticed that that's a big difference where it's it's um, it's that teamwork that's really shifted the morale.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting because um I mean, I love what you're saying, and it's a different perspective, you know. The way that we think that we do things, we just have to do it because they are set up to be that way. And sometimes when
Yeah.
we shift that, then we see a better way, right? But it's a risk to do
It
that.
is a risk. And you know what? I was willing to pay the price of not being
Mm.
liked or to being thought of as unconventional or disrupting.
Disruptive, yes.
And like what you're saying is, well, maybe this could be a better way,
Hmm.
but we don't know unless we give it a proper chance. And it's so this has been my fourth year
Hmm.
practicing in this way. And I'm super grateful
Amazing.
because I feel that it's created so much efficiency as well as
Mm.
freedom in all the people that have been involved in um, accepting and practicing this model.
Beautiful. Well, I congratulate you because I really think, you know, these systems are very hard to break, I think. So
Yes.
you being able to just get up and do your thing and proving to yourself that it works, because I really think that, you know, sometimes it's hard for us to hear our own intuition
Hmm.
regarding these things because it's not the way that things are done.
Right. And I have had many moments where I'm like, girl, I think you might, are you crazy? I don't know. Like, are you okay? And it's like, no, yes, like this gets to be uh adapted to, or
Mm,
what's the word I'm looking for? You get to take the leap. You get to try this. You get to jump in and not really have expectations, but I had this clarity. And I
mm,
think that's what really supported me with to take the leap and to keep going, even
mm-hmm,
when there have been some challenges with getting people enrolled into the model.
mm-hmm,
And I think not having the expectations, but knowing that there's that flexibility in how we can create it so that everybody's winning,
yeah.
everybody feels like they're a part of it. I think that was really supportive too. It didn't have to look a certain way for me.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Welcome.
So we're gonna move to the second question,
Okay.
and probably you're gonna go a little bit deeper into why you do what you do, but what make you interested in what you do currently? And tell me about how you got there. What was your journey?
So for the first part of the question, I really love supporting people.
Mm,
Um, Not so much like telling telling people like it has to be this way, but I'm a very curious person.
mm-hmm.
I've always been that way since I've been little. Like if there's a red button, I'm gonna push it because I want to know what it does.
But it does, yeah.
Like um and so I like being that guide for people, kind of getting underneath and being like, well, what about this? Or what do you think about this? Or I noticed this. And so from a very early age, I've been a very observant person.
Mm,
I see things. I may see things a little bit differently, or I can see ways that it can be created
mm-hmm,
differently. And so that's what really got me into the work of psychology because it's the study of the mind.
mm,
And I really chose to work with kids because I feel like they are very open to trying things differently.
Mm.
And they are free and they're fun, and there's this kind of magic about children.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so that's why I became interested in the psychology work, but the psychology work with kids.
Mhm.
It's very fulfilling for me. And I also like problem solving. So, and remember at the beginning when I had talked about I'm very passionate about balancing out those masculine and feminine
Mhm, mhm,
energies and bringing that into this space is because I love the nurturing aspect, the wonderment, that magic that I feel um, I get when I work with children,
mhm,
but then also bringing in that problem solving model to support them.
mm.
So that's also been a huge interest for me working with adults too, is being able to listen to what's going on and then working together to problem solve so that people that I work with, kids and adults, feel supported, they feel heard, they feel valued, they feel like, okay, this weight is off my shoulders now because we have a plan. I
Mm.
have some steps that I can take to support me with what I'm, really needing support with. So that's what has really interested me in this space. And I love working with people. So I've tried to do the solo like entrepreneur thing,
Yeah.
and I really prefer to work as a part of an intimate team.
Mm.
And I really thrive working in small teams.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason why I like doing what I'm doing as well. Um, and then my journey of how I got to this place
Mhm,
was, well, I had to go through schooling. So I went through 7 years of schooling,
mhm,
and I was working in the school, working for the state for about 9 years. And then that's when I transitioned to maybe there gets to be a better way. Maybe there gets to be a different type
mm,
of model. And it's just been so guided and so divinely guided because I was having these thoughts back in 2016
mhm,
and not
mhm.
knowing that in 4 years later we're going to have this huge pandemic
Yes.
that really catapulted all of this virtual work or these opportunities to create these hybrid models to just see how it would work, if it's efficient, can it be done. And so when I stepped into that space, um, I realized how much more people I could help
Mm,
with this model, and also just the efficiency of it. But the most important thing about the journey so far and what I'm realizing is that the services don't have to stop now, because that was one of the biggest pain points when the pandemic hit, is a lot of these children, their
mhm,
services stopped because it was just like, okay, what do we do?
mhm,
We can't go anywhere. Like, how? So it took some time to really start to figure out ways so that kids could continue to receive the services that they were receiving.
mhm,
And I think now we're experiencing the aftermath of that. So there's a lot of support needed right now in schools supporting kids, not just with their academics, but a big thing that I've really been supporting and advocating for is their mental health and emotional
mhm,
health.
mhm,
And so having in person, having virtual, and having these teams work together has been really amazing in in keeping the services going.
Beautiful.
That makes sense. So that's
Oh,
that's been
100%.
been my journey thus far. So
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa.
sure.
So, number three, question number three. What has been your biggest, most profound shift or transformation, and how it changed your life?
Honestly,
Yes,
I don't care what anybody thinks.
of course. Who cares? Awesome.
I mean, I care. I have a very caring heart. But
Yes.
in terms of like, I'm gonna go for it. If I really feel, I think that's been a big shift for me
Mm-hmm.
transformation wise too, is I'm not in my head. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's important to help with problem solving, and yes, it's important to be rational at times. There's a time and a place for all of that, but I don't live in that space all of the
Mm-hmm.
time. I really feel like I've transformed into this space of, well, what's possible here? Could there possibly be another interpretation that I'm just not seeing yet? And so shifting into this feeling space,
Mm-hmm.
because that I think, well, I know, not that I think, I know that me shifting my career into this different space
Mm-hmm.
wasn't because I thought it through and I analyzed it all. It came from a visceral
Mm-hmm.
feeling in my body. And your body is a very powerful tool.
Mm-hmm.
And harnessing that to support you with choices and that has supported me with making choices in my life has been super transformational, because when I make choices, I don't know if it's going to work out,
Mm-hmm.
but I go off of that feeling, or I create that balance between my body and my mind to support me with moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Powerful.
Yeah, thank you. And not caring what people think, because everybody's going to have their opinion, and
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. I like to hear people's opinions. It's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take it personal,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't compare either. I think that's been a very big transformational space for me, as well as I really do not compare myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about this morning. We really live in a society that thrives off of comparison,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be a very dangerous space. And I think about kids and what they're consuming and what that's doing to their
Mm-hmm.
brain and how they're processing the information. Um, because at times I'm on social media, or I'm watching TV, or I'm out and about and I'm just noticing what's around me and what I'm consuming. And sometimes I notice myself feeling bad.
Yeah.
Like, am I supposed to be doing it like this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, eh, and then stop for a minute and I'm just like, wow, like, why have we become so comparative in nature? Or why are we creating this energy that we're not enough just as we are? Because I always feel like, especially this time of the year, being mindful of like, well, you need to have this and you need to buy that, and if you want this, then you need to get this. And it's like, it's this creating this feeling sometimes that we're lacking something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And moving into that space of, what if you're perfect just the way you are right now in this very
Mm-hmm.
moment, and you have everything that you need?
Yeah. I mean, especially when you work with kids,
Mhm.
I really think that they are so, if they knew how special they are.
Mhm.
Just because, I remember being a kid, I didn't think I was special. I was comparing myself all the time. I thought that I had to do something. I thought that I had to become something to be important.
Mhm.
But I was precious just the way, like, I
Yes.
was. I was perfect just the way I was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could shift, I could change, I could go this way or that way. But even that was part of how precious we are, because we truly can be whatever we wanted. And I really think that, as at least for me as kids, I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I even thought, well, I'm good for this, so I had to do this.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I love what you're saying, because, again, as a mom of a 19-year-old and a 13-year-old, um, I keep thriving for that. If they knew how amazing they are.
Mhm.
And they don't know. I mean, I tell them all the time, but they think, oh, you're telling me because you're my mom.
I think that I don't stop doing that because
I don't.
it's so important for them to hear it on a consistent basis,
Yeah.
regardless of who it's coming from. Because their brain gets to take that in, that they're beautiful just the way they are. They get to embrace their uniqueness because it's powerful.
Mm.
And I I mean, a 13-year-old and a 19-year-old, you have your work cut out for you right now.
Well, I remember one cousin one time, she told me, it's like, you know what? And as they get older, because I had my kids were small at that moment. It's like, oh, it gets easier when they get older. It's like it gets easier because it's less work,
Mhm.
food wise. But then the
Okay.
problems are different. They're bigger. They're more complex. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's deeper. Yeah.
Yes, 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 100%. And my role changes, because at least for my 19-year-old right now, I'm an observer.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't have that much power, I will
Mhm.
say, to actually shift or change. I
Mhm.
am kind of an observer, and I always say, I'm here. I just want you to remember that I'm here. That's my only job, to be here when you need me. That's it.
Mhm.
Because other than that, again, I can tell her whatever, and she
Mhm.
will choose. She will make a choice.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah. I think that's beautiful, and continuing to let them know that they're valued and they matter, and it's helpful. It's so helpful right now, especially with just the easy access of all the things, like just a touch of a button and you can just see all this different stuff on social media, and it can get you questioning, like, well, am I lacking something, or do I need to be this way to achieve this? And it can really create a lot of confusion
Mm-hmm.
around how to be. um and sometimes we don't even know that what we're consuming is impacting us, because I feel like it's very subtle. But if you're constantly consuming it and taking it in, it does shift
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. So it's just something to be very aware of. I've been super aware of it myself as an adult, of just like, okay, is this something I really want to continue to consume? Even with people, is this person someone that I really want to, spend a lot of time with? Activities I'm involved in, is this really supporting me? Um, it's just powerful questions to ask.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
So, number 4, what is your golden nugget that help you move on or shift, transform on a daily basis? And what it is, and how you do it, and what it requires from you.
Mhm. Well, I think the big thing is that it doesn't cost anything.
Mm.
So I'm this the way that I show up for myself that is the most transformative for me,
Mm,
doesn't cost anything. Um, I I practice psychology, but I'm also a very spiritual person.
mm,
And I have really challenged my body and my mind multiple times over in the fitness world. And I really started to, again, when I started to be very mindful of balancing the energies, I really started to get into yoga.
mm,
And my yoga practice is sacred for me. And it doesn't have to necessarily be yoga,
mhm,
but the message is like choose something that really supports you with tapping in, with clearing your mind. It could
mm,
be going for walks, meditating, art. Um, Creativity isn't a luxury. I think creativity everybody gets to practice that. It's really such a beautiful way for you to understand the world and your place in it and how you can move around, be in the world by being creative and expressing yourself. And that is really my nugget, is like self-expression, choosing things to have in your life that help you to feel free and calm and relaxed. Could even just be the power of your breath. Maybe it's a journaling practice, um, certain rituals that you may have in the morning and in the evening, but really creating something for yourself that allows that release,
mhm,
I think has been very transformational for me. Creating a safe haven for yourself
mhm. Beautiful.
wherever you are, wherever you go.
Yeah, that you can take with you. Doesn't
Mhm,
depend on a space or,
mhm.
yeah, powerful. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, can you share with the viewers where they can find you?
Oh, sure. So I have an Instagram. It's called At Balance with Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I really speak into a lot of the balancing of the energies and really creating this divine space
Mm-hmm.
to tap into that wellness of your body, your mind, and your spirit. And there's always good nuggets on there.
Nice.
I'm also on Facebook too. Happy to connect with people there. Yeah,
Beautiful. Thank you.
you're
So,
welcome.
what you can do is you can send me the link and then I'll put it in the bio when I
Oh,
send the interview and they can
sure.
find you in Instagram for sure.
Great.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Melissa.
Thanks so much.
And for everybody back at home watching us, just remember tomorrow we'll have another piece of mind from another speaker, golden nugget that will tell you how to let go of something that doesn't work for you.
Mhm.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.